It's a new year, and right now the internet is loud. Everyone is telling you to wake up earlier, do more, do better, change everything. But let me ask you something and answer honestly. Do you feel excited or do you feel overwhelmed? Because if you're already feeling pressure, this video is not here to add to it. This isn't a new year, new you talk. This isn't about motivation or hustle. This is about why most years end up feeling the same and how to make sure this one doesn't. So before you rush into goals, routines, and expectations, pause with me for a moment, because if you want 2026 to actually be different, what you do right now matters more than anything you plan later. Let's talk. Now let's start with why most New Year's don't change anything. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A new year doesn't automatically mean a new direction. January feels fresh, yes, but freshness fades quickly when nothing internal shifts. Most people believe change happens like this. New year, new goals, new habits, new life. But what usually happens is this. New year, same mindset, same reactions, same results. That's why motivation fades by February. That's why routines collapse. That's why years blur together. Because time alone doesn't change patterns. If nothing changes beneath the surface, you're just repeating the same year on a different page. And what's the invisible autopilot ruining your life? Most of your life is lived on autopilot. The way you procrastinate, the way you avoid discomfort, the way you promise yourself tomorrow. None of this is random. Your brain is wired for familiarity, not growth. So even when you want to change, subconsciously return to what feels known. That's why you don't need harsher discipline, you need awareness. Ask yourself, what do I always delay? What do I avoid when things get uncomfortable? Where do I repeat the same excuses every year? This isn't about judging yourself, it's about finally seeing the loops clearly. Because you can't exit a pattern you refuse to acknowledge. And now let's see why motivation has never been the answer. January is full of motivation, and motivation feels incredible, but it's temporary. It shows up when things feel new, it disappears when things feel slow, repetitive, or boring. And real change, it's mostly boring. The people who change their lives aren't more motivated, they're more consistent. They build systems that work even when they don't feel like it. Not extreme systems, simple ones. 10 minutes instead of 2 hours, showing up imperfectly instead of waiting to feel ready. This year doesn't need more motivated you, it just needs a more honest you. Okay, this is important. The pressure of a new year. Here's something no one talks about. A new year can feel heavy. There's this invisible expectation to have clarity, have direction, have it all figured out. But clarity doesn't come from rushing, it comes from slowing down. You don't need to rebuild your entire life in January, you need to stop dragging the old weight into a new season. Ask yourself, what drained me last year? What did I tolerate that I shouldn't have? What am I ready to leave behind? Because unresolved emotional baggage quietly shapes your future, and if you don't release it, it follows you no matter what year it is. And always remember, forgiving yourself is not optional. Before you plan the future, you need to make peace with the past. If you enter this year disappointed in yourself, angry at yourself, or constantly replaying mistakes, you'll build your goals on shame, and shame doesn't create discipline, it creates avoidance. So pause. You did the best you could with what you knew then. You survived things you didn't explain to anyone. You learned lessons you didn't ask for. Forgiving yourself doesn't erase accountability, it creates space. And space is where growth begins. So what actually makes a year different? Here's where things quietly shift. Instead of asking, what do I want to achieve this year, ask, who do I want to become? Not dramatically, not perfectly, just realistically. Not I'll change everything, but I'll change one decision I make daily. Not I'll wake up at 5 a.m. forever, but I'll stop lying to myself about my energy and capacity. Real transformation doesn't announce, it compounds. And one day you'll look back and realize, I didn't restart my life, I redirected it. So what's your only job right now? Your job is not rush, your job is to pay attention to what actually works, stop repeating what doesn't, and choose alignment over pressure. You don't need to become unrecognizable overnight, you just need to become intentional. Intentional with your time, intentional with your energy, intentional with the life you're building quietly. So, if you're still watching this, that already tells me something about you. You're not chasing hype, you're searching for something real. So hear this clearly. This year will not magically change you, but you can change the direction it takes. Not by doing more, but by doing things differently. Start slow, start honest, start now. And by the time this year ends, you won't be saying, I hope next year is better, you'll know you built it. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you on the next one.